Last season on The Canine Condition, a documentary series. This is my canine condition. But before we can understand how this little family came to be, we have to go back in time.
So this is Dublin. Hi, Dublin. Clearly my rescue efforts that night, although they led me on a very long journey, she was really meant to be my dog from the moment I saw her.
Let's rewind a little more. I didn't always like dogs. When I was 5, my Guatemalan grandparents' dog bit me. I had accidentally stepped on his tail while jumping around. But it isn't fair to judge dogs because of one incident or because of their breed or appearance. They are individuals. Rescuing Dublin opened our eyes to a cause we could not ignore. She opened our eyes to the canine condition of the United States.
Zeus is the first dog we got together. He was 12 weeks old, and we bought him from a pet store in Malibu, California.
When we walked into that pet store to get him back in 2006, we were going to buy pet food for our other pug, and there he was, in a glass cage right at the entrance when you walk into the pet store. That's how they get you. You sort of feel guilty seeing all these puppies in the pet store, and you think you have to save them from the pet store. We didn't know you could rescue pugs. We didn't know about adoption back then. It wasn't until we started going out to dog parks with both pugs and meeting more pug owners and pug parents that we realized that their pugs had been rescued. And we would ask people, where'd you get your pug? And they would say, oh, we adopted him or her.
That was when the light bulb went off for us. Our mission began. We wanted to know who was saving these innocent pugs from abandonment and neglect.
I had no idea there were so many pugs that were being abandoned, neglected, and left to fend for themselves. And they are such defenseless little beings. I can't even imagine my pugs sitting in a shelter or being a stray. Once you know what's really going on out there, once you know it exists in your own neighborhood, in your own city, and that it's happening all over the country, it's sort of mind-boggling. I can't even imagine why people would still want to buy or breed dogs. And I understand why people adopt senior dogs now.
I'm Gwen Valone from Pug Nation Rescue of Los Angeles. One of the things we pride ourselves in is our shelter's a happy place.
I want to bring to light that you can rescue pugs, and people will be like, well, where do these come from? And I would say, don't they come from breeders?
Most of them do. I mean, they have to originate somewhere. So there's all kinds of breeders. There's backyard breeders. There's we refer to backyard breeders as people who just get 2 pugs and just wing it and breed. And then, of course, there's the illegal breeders, and then there's the more reputable breeders. But all of them create an overpopulation. I think we're a throwaway society. I think we're, an instant gratification society.
Instant gratification. I was guilty. I got my first pug from a breeder in 2002, Gracie.
The internet was, available, but not to the extent that it is today. There wasn't social media connections. There was just maybe doing a search. So it was sort of like a yellow pages search on the internet. And I looked and found tons of pug breeders, and I just called a bunch, and whoever gave me the best vibe over the phone, that's who I went to meet. And I went to see this pug, and I left the breeders with her in my hand, and I bought her for $700, which was a lot of money. I put her on a credit card. I couldn't even afford to buy the dog that time.
And although I did not rescue Gracie, she taught me so much all the days of her life. Because of Gracie, I became a true advocate for pugs.
I love you so much. You're my angel. Are you my angel? Do you love me? Do you love me? I love you. Bye.
And because of Zeus, we swore to never buy a dog again. Our rescue mission antennas were permanently turned on. While on this journey, I saw a pug in a shelter with my very own eyes. A pregnant pug. I had to do something.
Do you know where the heating pads are?
Look at these beautiful babies you made. Are you a good mama? Yeah. Yes, you are. You're all right.
It's a baby. Hi. Oh amazing? My gosh, she does. She's not scared. She was so scared when I first saw her.
Really personable.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Mommy.
You helped save her from an abortion.
So sweet. I haven't held like a fond pug since mine passed, so it's like, it's weird. Hi.
So it's always tricky getting a dog out of a shelter no matter what. And we were alerted that Marie was in there. And so all we could do is contact the shelter and say we're interested. So they kept telling me her list was full. We let them know we were a rescue. And we said, we're interested, the list was full. So I tried twice, everybody was saying there's this pregnant pug. I tried, they're like, the list is full. And there's not much you could do to convince a shelter. So Jackie
Me.
was at the shelter and kept saying, Gwen, you gotta get this dog. I'm like, I've tried. So Jackie gave me someone to email, a contact to email. I emailed immediately, it was on a Sunday, and they got back to me right away. Thank goodness you contacted us. They were saying, well, her adoption list is full, but that meant they were gonna abort her babies and then adopt out. So they were thrilled that a rescue came forward because they would trust a rescue to take in a pregnant dog and make sure she's healthy and has the babies.
No, you do not want to be pugless. This is a good, good girl. You're a princess. You're a princess. Do you know that?
I think she knows.
Gwen was right. Pug Nation LA is a happy place.
Ooh, that was so wonderful. Oh my gosh. Oh, I heard that your mama was the best little mama ever.
This is what I'm doing today.
That place.
No, you see you? These guys.
I realized that there were many volunteers who couldn't foster or couldn't adopt another pug for one reason or other. And I just came up with this idea that people could, foster a pug but not take them home. So basically the program is set up for people, they have to commit at least a couple hours a week to their dog. And they come in at least once a week, but of course they're welcome to come more, and they concentrate on their dog. They have one-on-one time. They could take them on field trips. Once we check their home, they could take them on overnights. And we ask them to do social media, send us pictures of them in action, because, a picture of a dog in a shelter is one thing, but out and about with people and maybe with their other dogs, showing that they get along with other dogs and they'll fit in a home, that really goes a long way in marketing them. So the program took off. People loved it because they wanted that connection with a dog that really needs it. Most of the dogs in the Hippo program are the ones that don't do well with others, so they're kind of isolated as it is, or maybe a more senior dog or someone like Jimbo who just needs that extra attention to get out.
Listening to Gwen tell us about the HIPPO program made me realize that when we can't adopt or when we are not able to donate, there are still fun and very easy ways to give back. As soon as I heard about the HIPPO program, I knew I had to take part in it. And Jimbo was the perfect candidate.
We would post the videos and you would tag us. More people saw it, and I'm 100% convinced that's what got him adopted. That's a perfect example of the hippos. Like, if they're out and about and they're doing their own take on social media, they get noticed. They totally get noticed.
Over a period of 6 weeks, I visited Jimbo at Pug Nation LA. I took him out on field trips, he came over for play dates, and we had a blast.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Joey.
And we adopted Jimbo.
Yay! So tell me how you first found out about Pug Nation LA Rescue.
We had a few rough months earlier this year losing 2 of our pups so close together. When we lost Luna, it was just unbearable, really. But we found ourselves back at Pug Nation not too long after, where we found our boy Cosmo. And so we brought him home. And then Pug Nation, we were working with somebody over there. She said, I have one more for you to meet. It's a male, but we think you might really like him. And out came Cosmo. He was named Sparrow at the time, Jack Sparrow, for his one eye, little pirate pup. And they bring him out, and immediately, I mean, he jumped on both of us, gave kisses, and we both said, I think we're gonna get a one-eyed boy instead of a female pug. And that is exactly who we ended up with.
Do you know his rescue story?
A little bit. I mean, Pug Nation doesn't know all that much. He was found wandering the streets of San Bernardino with a horribly infected eyeball, and he was picked up by a shelter, I guess, in San Bernardino. And they reached out to Pug Nation as they've come in and taken dogs in need of medical attention in the past. So Pug Nation swooped in as always and picked him up, and it was beyond saving. So they removed his eye, they did his neuter, and he lived at Pug Nation for about 2 months to fully heal, and then he was ready for adoption.
My name is Carol Sanchez.
I'm Dean Sanchez, and we've adopted 3 dogs from Pug Nation.
4 now.
3.
No, 4. Vinny, Dexter, Capri.
Oh, well, okay. Capri is a bonus dog because she was a puppy, so I don't count her as that one. So 4 dogs we adopted together when we first started dating. We kind of just went and adopted Vinny.
We love Vinny.
We loved him. We lost him a year ago, almost a year ago, right?
Yep, almost a year ago.
And then Dexter was a puppy when we adopted him next. And then Luna and Capri came.
So Luna was pregnant when she was rescued. I'm gonna show you a video of her. This is when she'd had, I think, 1 or 2 puppies. Look, you wanna see? Come, look.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, she looks very pregnant for sure.
Do you know where the heating pads are? The top.
Oh my God.
Tell me what goes through your mind when you know that Caprice and Luna are not the only 2 puppies that this happens to.
It breaks my heart, to be honest with you. And like I said, once you adopt and you see and you walk into a shelter and see how many dogs are in need of adoption.
Yeah, I definitely promote Pug Nation a lot to a lot of people who ask. Like I said before earlier, I was one of those people we buy from the breeder. And I will never go back either, just because there's so many great dogs out there for everybody that you can find. The best thing about Pug Nation is they don't just take pugs, though. They take other breeds that, that need, right? I mean,
If they need dogs, dog mixes. And that's the other thing is that when I met them, I couldn't believe how many pugs needed saving.
I work in the legal field, and we see cases where people knowingly sell ill dogs. They paint the color of their fur to try to hide and make sure that they look healthy. They lie about veterinary records. They are not good people. They are here solely to turn a profit. And while no, they're not all like that, there are enough out there that should turn everyone away from paying for a dog into rescue.
Absolutely. Because then those families who buy them, they can't return them, right? They don't get their money back.
Right.
Nope.
But a lot of those families do turn them into shelters when they can't deal with the vet bills or whatever's going on medically, correct?
Right? Yeah. And it's a vicious cycle. And that's why, I mean, there's so many amazing, beautiful dogs that are just dumped because people want a puppy and then they don't know how to care for it, or you know, there's health issues and they don't have the means to continue that care. And so that dog ends up in a rescue at the end of the day anyway. So why not start there?
So we had been seeing Jimbo on Pug Nation's Instagram account, and we saw, I think it started with a few pictures and then maybe a video, and that was right around when our pit bull passed away. And then a few months later, we saw him again. We're like, how is he still there? He looks like the cutest dog.
We would keep sending pictures like back and forth to each other. Like, he's still here, he's so cute. He needs to get adopted. And we kept waiting for somebody to adopt him, and nobody did. And so eventually we decided, okay.
I think it's time to make the call and go meet him and, you know, see if he'd fit in with the family and fit in well with Cosmo. Because there might have been some overlap with Jimbo and Cosmo at Pug Nation.
Being together at Pug Nation
like
together.
About a few weeks maybe, they might have met each other.
Hey Jimbo, are you ready to go home? Are you ready to go home, good boy? Let's do it.
Jimbo's great.
He fit right in,
Yep. He's very friendly with all dogs.
With dogs, with
I
people.
haven't met a dog he hasn't liked yet. These dogs are amazing. They're just, they do so much for us.
Get the toy, Dylan. Get the toy so we can give it to Capri.
And you know, it's funny, you know, I grew up watching Price is Right, you know, with Bob Barker, and he would always say, you know, don't forget to spay and neuter your dogs. Well, you know why he said that? Because there's an overpopulation of stray dogs out there, and no one's taking care of them, you know? And looking back on it now, he was, you know, he was right, you know, and now we need to take care of the dogs that need to be taken care of.
And it's just the best feeling to know that you gave them a second chance.
I think that it's important to remember for every, what we would say, horrible person that dumps a pug or neglects or abuses a pug, there's like 5 amazing people out there. A huge thank you for the people who work tirelessly for these pugs. Our motto is 1 pug at a time. That's the only way we could do it.
The pet store we got Zeus from closed down for selling puppy mill dogs. To Zeus's pug mom and pug dad, we want to say we are sorry. We didn't know then what we know now.
When I don't know where to go, and I don't know where to turn to, I know at least that I got you. And when I'm feeling sad and lonely, and I need someone to hold me, I know at least that I got you. When life doesn't turn out like I planned, then I need someone who understands what I'm going through. It takes a lot to keep up our defenses, broken hearts, white picket fences, and days gone by. But when there's nothing left to do, it's right then that I think of